All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a late night session of more of the Crucible. We will do these until we get the update in 2 days. That'll be interesting. I'm actually also testing the setup and making sure that everything is going to be working for the big day. We are connected. I'm just Mm. I don't know. Okay, I'm just going to go through with this and see. I haven't done many changes since yesterday. I've just changed the resolution issue. Should be solved. And as you can see, I've been trying to test this multi-chat thing happening. I had to go back and forth between Twitch and YouTube, and I was missing on chats. Just not sure if the pitch rate seems to be okay. It is green on my OBS. I'm not sure if stream quality is good enough on Twitch. But I'm trying to figure out. Oh, okay. Now, how can I check? Yeah, let me see if I can just go on Twitch and try to watch my own stream. Looks okay, at least on my phone. Well, there's something wrong. I'm pretty sure somebody will chime in and let me know. All right, what else do we have here that we could try for you? That could be semi-interesting. I don't think I showed a clause build. This is a clause build and it's a really good one. It's also beginner friendly somewhat, although this is again it's a cloth build, but it's a good build. I'm trying to figure out if this new chat overlay is not intrusive.
I guarantee.
Have something good to buy.
To shop another day.
Plague and electric. That's not bad. Rings are always worth buying, in my opinion. Although the resistances to go for are always plague and heat. I wonder if this guy's selling something good
endures. Do it for
or offering something good for some work. Oh no, nothing good. Alright, you can keep your stuff. Nobody needs that. Okay, this is a claws build, and this is also a legacy weapon of some sorts. Because if you can see, I have utility rune, I have damage surge on it, which is something I miss. I still don't understand the reasoning behind having to put necessarily these utility runes on your utility slot, but maybe that will change somewhere down the line if we make enough of a fuss about it. I don't think I have ever said anything about it on the forums or the Discord at all, so I can't really complain. Maybe I should start making threads about it, but I think you should be able to put your utility runes on your weapons if you want to, especially blink, because for some setups blink is just amazing to have on tap. This is a very similar setup to the other one. I think I only have leather here. Oh, I have plate gloves with it, just for a little bit of added. Pretty much, yeah, everything else is cloth. Except for the gloves is plate. And with this setup, you still don't need to use any points into your equipment load. Point being is that claws, because of the way their moveset works, like you get quite a bit of tracking on them, so you don't necessarily need to be on light category. Like, normal category will work just fine. Especially with its run attack, you get a lot of gap closer. Like your first attack gives, and your second attack. You see how mobile it is? That's why you don't really need to be on lightweight category if you're using claws. If you're using gauntlets, gauntlets are completely different, or feel different at least. That's how I feel about gauntlets. What the heck? Just missed everything on that. I thought. Holy, that poison. Well, I guess my fire is stronger than his poison. Oh my god, I got the wrong room. Let me just double check my chat here. Hello. Oh, we do have a viewer. How's the stream quality? Is it any different I'm just using this chat overlay thing, and now it's connected to two different sources. I just want to make sure, because I can do without this chat display thing if it's bothering people and people don't want it. Oh, we can take that. Not doing physical damage at all. That too. This too. That's pretty much it. I thought I missed. Fire versus ice. Oh yeah, it's the full screen. I fixed it today. I was just like, no, man. If people are noticing it, I can't. At first, I thought it wasn't so noticeable, but then everyone started talking about it. So I'm like, nah, I can't. Took a little bit of fidgeting and just a little bit of looking up some resources, and it just at the end of the day, it wasn't too big of a deal. I keep thinking that I have my rising fist on my X. Forget it. I just like sat down in the middle of that fight. Okay, so it does cover. Do you think maybe I should move it to the other side? So the bit rate is showing at 6,000. I think 6,000 is the maximum, but I could definitely try showing it up. I can put the chat here instead. Is that a better position for the chat? Oh, the podcast is going to be sweet. There's going to be a lot more happening than just talking on the podcast too, so you guys are in for a treat. I don't want to give away too much, but trust me, it's not going to be just the four of us talking. I have a whole bunch of stuff planned out for that podcast. It's not going to be your regular podcast where you just look at four dudes talk. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. And chat's gonna be open. If you obviously you can contribute, you can ask questions, and Thomas himself has said he'll be watching. So not sure if he's gonna watch after or during, but if we do happen to see him in chat, we can have a little one-on-one conversation with him too. I have fiber internet. I shouldn't have a problem upping the bitrate. I can try doing that. Truth be told, so my gaming rig started having problems a while ago, and I just stopped bothering with it because I wasn't really running games that needed that like intensive build to run. So I just started using my laptop, my gaming laptop, and this is actually what I'm using for streaming and everything. I'm just using my gaming laptop, but the internet is It's fiber internet with 1 gigs of upload and download, so I shouldn't be having. It's not an issue at all. Although, if this thing ends up, you know, being able to replace my main source of income, I'll definitely invest in better stuff. But again, I really don't see that happening, nor am I actually aiming for it. I like that it's generating oh, for 1080p they're recommending 112k. Can I change that on the go? Are you watching on YouTube or? Let me see what it gives me on modifications. Okay, I just changed the bitrate for the YouTube output. You let me know if that made a change. I just put it to 12,000. And it's not showing me any drop rates. Giving me, yeah. Because there's another thing with this streaming onto these with this multi-streaming that I'm doing. I'm not getting as many options as I do if I was doing the single thing, but I will look into it because I know I have to make sure that it's ignoring the platform's maximum, because some of the YouTube and Twitch, they impose like a maximum bitrate on you. And you have to click the option to ignore that. That is strange. That's strange. You know what? Let me just watch it on YouTube on my phone and see what's going on. Because I'm not getting if it was if it had like dropped frames or anything, it would show me as like a warning thing. Blurry. Hard to play and watch on my phone. Camera shake, no. Graphics, sharpness, motion blur, no. Target FPS, maximum. Can you just try watching it on Twitch and tell me if it's the same thing on Twitch also? Because that would really help me out figure out the issue. It's like the problem is I have a lot of people who follow me on I'll follow these on YouTube, and I don't want to completely migrate to Twitch. But if this multi-streaming is going to be a problem, I'm gonna have to figure something out. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, brother. I rarely see you play fast equip loads. You don't think it's worth to aim for it in exchange for less armor? I think it's just maybe that you see me a while not playing the fast load things, because I do have fast load, what do you call it, builds. But in a lot of builds, what I do is I combine agility ring and willow ring to get really close to that movement speed that you are used to with the fast load. And then it also depends on the weapon setup. So like if I'm playing, for example, the same setup with gauntlets, not claws, because okay, so these are all called gauntlets by the game, but there's a very distinction between the two. Claws and gauntlets, which are like just fist weapons, they okay, here, let me just show you instead of talking about it like that. So this is a gauntlet, and look at the movement speed of the attacks and how much mobility and traction you're getting out of your attacks, right? But at the same time, if I'm also using this, it's substantially slower, and you cover a lot less space with your attacks. And also on top of that, usually these ones have a really good you see that, like on my run attack, I'm getting like a free AoE attack, where your run attack is just like this in here. So it really depends on the weapon. But to answer that question, is it not worth it to aim for in exchange for less armor? It is better to aim for it in exchange for less damage, I think. I don't think it's worth it to go for less armor. But then armor is a huge topic of its own, and it's a topic that's about to change monumentally in the upcoming patch with the changes that they are doing. So we might have to hold our tongue on this particular issue until we see what real changes are coming with the patch. Okay, but again, hello Wraith, thank you for following. By the way, I just made Twitch affiliate today, and I have 1 follower, and I know who that is. He's like one of my oldest viewers on YouTube. He's like an OG. So it's better on Twitch, eh? Okay, so what's happening is I'm using like a plugin to broadcast on YouTube, but I'm using OBS's main thing for Twitch. So there may be something happening there, and I also realized that the chat is also slower on YouTube than Twitch. So it may be just that this platform that I'm using for chat is causing this. So I'll fix it. I promise I'll fix it. If you're a YouTube follower, you don't have to migrate. I'm not gonna make you do anything of that sort. I will follow it. I'll follow up with this, and I will definitely fix it. Like I promised, I fixed the resolution issue, and I did that today. But please do keep in mind, I do have a career. It might be hard to believe with the amount of time I play games. You might think like, which is at home playing games, but I will resolve this. I will for sure resolve this by the time the podcast happens, and by Thursday, because I know a lot of people are going to be watching on Thursday for the stream on that day. Does the developer have said anything about adding animation cancel? I don't think so. I have not heard about which particular animation cancel are you talking about? Like with attacks? Because the thing is, if you add animation cancel on certain weapons, right? Like a two-hander weapon. And if you can cancel those attacks at any given time to just like do a dodge or a parry, then don't you think it's going to be a little bit of a balancing issue where you're like, okay, so the compromise is with those weapons is that you have to time your attacks because your attacks do a lot of damage, right? On the other hand, faster weapons, you get faster recovery, gives you a lot more of an open window to do parries and dodges. So don't you think if they allowed you to just animation cancel in the middle of an attack that you need to really commit to, there would be like a balancing issue? That's just my thinking. Like, I understand the desire to want animation canceling, but do we really want it for the good of the game? So that's actually a good, like, I remember when I first started playing this game, I thought about it a lot, and I was just like, I wish I could do that. Then I'm like, I have to adjust my playstyle. And I'm not saying that's what you need to do, but I'd really love to hear your opinion on it. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, so if I go wait. Okay, so now this is a good thing to test the weight thing. See, if I go lightweight on this claws, it doesn't even change the run attack animation, right? Whereas on this, well, not this particular weapon, but there's some attacks that will completely change. So if you're talking about animation canceling in a sense of, like, I don't know which context are we talking about. Like, are we talking about in the context of like the fighting game style, or like we're talking like MOBA style where you do animation canceling at the right time to get more attacks in? Or are we talking about something else? So like, again, this is an open discussion. I'm not trying to drive my opinion forward. I'm actually trying to get community's opinion, to be honest, because I think part of quote unquote creator responsibility is this is like, for me, this is different than when I used to talk on forums and I used to get in like really heated arguments with people. At where I am right now, I rather get everyone's opinion. I would rather like to learn new stuff. Like, tell me what it is that you think, so I can just have a better opinion. Because then I can propagate it, and if it does come to a point where we have an audience here, then the developers will listen. So we want to just make sure that everyone's voice gets heard. Again, just driving one strata of players' opinion, or one person in a game like this, when they're trying to sort of like make it more applicable to as many people as possible across like different genres. I think it's more important than getting what I want or what do you want. Some rune casting took way too long, specifically Whirlwind. I think we should have some way to end it when we need it. Yeah, I get it. Like that particular rune, I have really bad experience with it too. It takes so long. I think one of the solutions to that was to, and I haven't tested this. I've been wanting to test this for a very long time. I don't think it's the case right now, but again, I cannot say with total confidence whether it is the case or not. Oh my god, I just fucked up. I was trying to get him to kill the dog or have him die. Okay, let me kill this guy and then we follow up with that conversation in a second. So what I was going to say is that what I think would be a good addition that would kind of change the interaction is if attack speed had an effect on rune cast abilities speed, right? So if you had, say, faster attack speed, your runes would also cast faster. Oh my god, I keep doing this. This is part of the problem with just picking up a build you haven't touched in months. The rune setup. I keep thinking that my gap closer rune is on X, but it isn't, and do you think that would be a compromise, if like a good compromise, if or a good addition, if your attack speed had an effect on the cast animation of your runes? By the way, Amen Oni, I remember you from forums. But hi, it's been a long time. You see how like how much tracking you get with these claws? I don't even have to like run after them. I just have to attack, and then because of the amount of stamina you regenerate back on each attack, you don't really necessarily need to be on light. But yeah, being in light speed has its own perks, so to say. You're waiting for the class rework. I think that will be a while from now. But again, like Thomas is sending out so many mixed messages with regards to this, and he keeps alluding that the 1.0 is not that far away, which, you know, some people might like that. I personally don't really like that idea, because I think they need a little bit more time in the oven for this thing to just reach its full potential. But again, I'm not on the dev team, so they might be further in development than we know. Sorry. Such a good boss. I know some people hate him, and I totally understand the sentiment, especially because you don't really get to practice on it. But once you gonna charge. You should charge here. Daniel, no play. Thank you for following. Lacks of epic music? How epic do you want the music to be? Because I can play some music. I have permission to play this. This is better. Hopefully it's just not gonna ruin the stream quality. This matches the late night mood a little bit better. Yeah, I'm super concerned about what's going to happen on the 22nd, to be honest, if I were totally honest with you. And I'm not too worried about the systems. I'm more worried about connection issues, because a lot of people that are coming into play on the 22nd, they're coming in to play co-op. They're not here for testing how good your combat system is. They want to get in, they want to play with their friends, and trust me, if you paid whatever you paid for this game to play with your game and you come in and all of a sudden you can't even play with your friend, you're probably not going to be happy, and you're just gonna take it to the forums and let people know how unhappy you are, right? So I think that's the biggest backlash that could happen, and that's what I'm worried about. But aside from that, I mean, game systems can always be improved on a dime, but in my experience, network coding and all that, server issues, these things, they take a lot longer to deal with, and it takes a lot more development. And yeah, that's my only concern. And if that goes smooth, trust me, if there's no connection issues when people come in, because we're gonna have a lot of new players coming in, I don't think we're gonna have people complaining the way they complained back in Breach release. And I think Breach release, people's complaints were not completely out of place. I don't think it was completely out of place. Some of it was exaggerated, to be honest. But again, that was also a major release. You know, a lot of people had put off the game for a very long time, and then the promise of extra content, which it was huge, brought in a lot of people that had stopped playing the game. So, and then I think you were there. I don't have to tell you about it. You were there. You remember Breach's backlash and how crazy the forums were. And back then I wasn't even checking the Discord much or at all, and I couldn't even talk to what the Discord was like. But if it was anything like the forums, it was hell. Like, everybody was frustrated, and people were getting into like fights with each other too over this. It was bad for the community as a whole. I think one of the good things about this game is because it's sort of a niche still, it has a really good community, even though like I've had my own frictions in this community. I'm no saint, you know. I have had the not the odd, I would say, even especially back at the time of the release, where everybody was just trying, like, there was a lot of infighting, because we all were like, obviously we were all passionate about the game, but we also thought that the changes are like taken away from what brought us to the game. So yeah, I've seen it all, but it is what it is. We just have to wait and see. Am I excited for the podcast? Super. Like I was talking about it earlier. It's not going to be just us talking. Obviously there is going to be a lot of talking, but there's going to be a lot of without giving too much away, there's going to be some fun activities for you guys to watch. There's going to be talking. Obviously you're going to get to know the content creators a little bit better, their perspectives on the game aside from what you've seen before. And Thomas might just be there. He said he was going to watch it. Don't know if he's going to watch it live or he's going to watch it later, but he might be there, so you could interact with him in chat. And you know, if he so wishes to, maybe we can just bring him in briefly in the voice too. But yeah, I am excited. It's going to be fun. Hopefully it will pick up and we can do more episodes. Also, if you have a content creator that I don't know about, you're watching this video, if you are a content creator or if you are a subscriber to another content creator that I don't know about, let them know. The doors are open to anyone and everyone. This podcast is aimed at fostering a better community around the game. I think we've forgotten how much communities do matter to the game. I come from a different time in gaming where communities were really super tight-knit, especially on online games. People cared beyond beyond with just spending a little bit of time and, you know, interacting in games together. And I think in a society that is increasingly atomized by the day almost, and the divisiveness of the current socio-political climate makes it even worse. I think this is one of the outlets we have that can bring some change. And I think it's getting a little too mushy with that cello in the background, but I think gaming is a lot more than what a lot of people think it is. And it has always been that way. And if you want to like think about it in terms of the history of gaming used to be a pretty niche thing. You know, gamers were like gaming right nowadays, it's a huge industry, right? But back in the day it wasn't. It was a niche thing. It was just like, it's like how comics were not so mainstream. Games was the same thing. You know, we go to arcades and that used to be our social sort of hub. So there was a lot of physical interaction involved with gaming. And I think as that sort of started to go away and everything went online, at first it wasn't so bad, but over the past 2 decades, I would say a lot of things has changed, and not necessarily for good. But again, it's at the end of the day, it's up to us to make it better, right? I'm going to hold hands and sing a song. Hey, Into the Wicked. Yeah, I'm gonna make you guys sing. You're gonna have to sing the OG theme. You know, the song we prayed for summer. Better know the lyrics. We're gonna drop tobacco in a bonfire, hold hands, sing that song, and hopefully we were going to summon Tormus the Mauler. And then you're all gonna cower and run from his smoking pipe. Yeah, you would be a big. I think Thomas is without like sounding like being appeasing him or anything, I think he's got a good head on his shoulders as a person, you know, and he's been pretty involved with the community, which at this point, like with a game that sold close to a million copies, not a small feat. Yeah, Eric, you definitely feel that, don't you? Like, if you've been around since the 80s and you've been a gamer, you must have felt the difference in the community, and it's gone through its ebbs and flows. And sadly, we're at a low point from a community. Like, yeah, we have better games now. We have, we have technology that's not even comparable. But I often I can compare it to this. Like, say, like, imagine a very humble meal, right? And then imagine it, compare it to something really lavish. Imagine a meal that you can make at home, and then compare it to a lavish meal that requires days of preparations and special kitchens and chefs of all kinds and tools and all that for it to even come close to fruition. If you can make a humble meal and you can share it with people you care about, would it not be a better experience than a very lavish meal that you can't even share with anyone? And the sharing of that is that aspect of sharing is the importance of a community. And if we forget that, it doesn't matter how good the games are. If we cannot share it with each other, believe me, there won't be much joy left in it. Yeah, isn't that wild that you can just like come on Discord and see like him just talking directly to people, no matter who you are. If you say something that's interesting, he will respond to it, and he actively responds to people's inputs on the game too. Oh yeah, you should link me that. I should watch that. Do we want to see any more of this particular build, or you guys even I've been yapping like, what the hell am I doing? I'm using this. I put like, this is false advertisement. Come and watch me go through the Crucible and show you all these builds, and I'm like sitting here like having a little expose on gaming and social constructs and crap like that. I didn't want anything to do with. All right, let's see what else I can pick out of the repertoire. Question: for you, applying infection is supposedly gonna give you attacker temporary lifesteal. Do you know if that will give you a lifesteal to a teammate or only to the person who applied it? We don't know. The quick and short answer is we don't know. These are things I need hands-on time, because my time with the beta was so short and I just focused on breaking the game to get the devs' attention to things, to balancing things. I didn't get to look at these like the fine-tuning of these new things that they're putting in, but my guess is that it should only give it to you, because it wouldn't make sense. Because imagine if you have two people running, say, bleed and plague, right? So, and one person has lifesteal on bleed and the other has lifesteal on plague. That means now both of them are getting like extra lifesteal. I don't think that will work, and if it works that way, they need to fix it. Beta characters are going to be carrying over Frank, so be happy about that. We weren't sure that it was going to, but a couple of days ago they confirmed that they are going to. Kegarin, I talked to him. I talk to Kegarin all the time. He messaged me a little while ago, and anytime I see him post his streams, I go in and I watch. I like him. It's a good guy. I like everybody. There's no one I don't like. But Kegarin is definitely I have him on the short list for the next tavern talk if he's around. I've seen a couple of other content creators. There's Art that was going to be. I don't know if he's comfortable like talking English the whole time. But yeah, again, if you have anybody that you follow, watch, and I don't know about them, do tell them to contact me. These episodes are gonna run for a while, and as I said, the aim is to get as many opinions on the game and the mechanics as possible. What does this guy do? Oh yeah, this guy also has another. Maybe this is interesting to see. It's not a guy, it's a girl. Yeah, it's a strange time to be around. Like, we're getting things in gaming that 10, 15 years ago was just like unimaginable, right? So if anybody was around right at breach time, what they did originally was that these gems would not give you an infusion, they would give you extra damage. So if you put a sapphire in there, you would get extra ice damage. And we complained about it. we complained and we said, hey, if I put a gem in there, I want an infusion. So they finally gave in. But what they did was that they didn't retroactively change them. So if you had a weapon with gem on it, it stayed that way. So there are people around who have these legacy weapons like this that are kind of broken. It's not that broken, to be honest. Like 15% extra damage is not game breaking or anything. But yeah, let's it's good to take a look at this one. I think they should bring this back. I think this, like, if you had like two kinds of sapphire, one would give you an infusion and one would give you damage increase. That would be cool, right? Especially now. Imagine now that we have facets. So you get frigid facet on your weapon, then you could put a sapphire on it just to boost up its ice damage. I think that would be a really solid interaction.
What more proof do you need?
Oh yeah, facets are going to stay. Oh, you didn't like it? Why? I'm really curious now. Why didn't you like the facets? I thought they were cool.
These places burrowing inside my mind.
Double negative effect. I can see where you're coming from, but it's not. It wasn't unmanageable. That's what I was. How? What the hell is happening?
These places burrowing inside my mind.
My life bar. What happened to my life bar? Oh my god. Look at all these. Like a leech infestation. So this build, if you're wondering, this works on switching weapons. So you have you get your freeze going on claws because it happens quite fast. Or you can also do it like this, just freeze them right away. and then you switch to your normal weapons and just shatter them, and you also get a charge attack on it, so you can do quite a bit of quick damage. And if you're here, you do this, bam, boom, bam, and she died. Super broken. I thought that the negatives on the facets were a lot more tame than the negatives that you will find on plagued items. So, for example, there was this one facet, I think it's called bulky, where you get more armor in exchange for poise. Or then there's another one that you would get more armor in exchange for extra weight, right? I think, in my opinion, I think the negatives were a lot more manageable than negatives that you find on plagued armor, on plagued equipment. But I totally understand the point that you're making there too. Again, for those of you who are big fans of the infamous Buster Rift, you're totally sleeping on Tremor Wave. Tremor Wave, objectively better than Buster Wave. That's a hill I'm willing to die on. Also, one pointer, if you're going to ever do a setup like this, make sure you don't open up a third slot, because yeah, you don't want to, you just want to be able to tap once and switch between weapons. If you have a third slot, it will jump to the third slot, and you're gonna have to tap twice to get to the next one, and tap once and alternate, and that's impossible to remember. This build really shines against bosses and bigger enemies, especially with the let's see if I can do it to this guy. I can just like life steal on him forever. And this attack at the this jab, this also sometimes I don't know what happens with it, but it shatters. I don't know if it shatters or if it just so happens to be killing. Might be wrong. What are you laughing at, Ayman? Are you laughing at the Buster Rift thing? Oh look, 45 damage. I mean 45 focus. Immediate freeze. And I don't even have... Look at this. Boom. Boom. Easy. Boom. Oh, this one just got wrecked. Okay, I'm gonna do it on the big guy. And look at the range on this. Do you see? Like, that guy is even getting hit back there. Can Buster Rift do this? Hell no. Shut up. Yeah, there's definitely something going on with the YouTube thing. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna do max. I don't want to do damage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take survivability things so I can mess around with the Echo Knight a little bit. Oh, I gotta buy this guy. I always forget. I gotta buy Whisper Stones. Oh, I want to buy those two. I'm gonna experiment with Arrow Rune. Which reminds me, I should extract some of that before the 22nd. No, I don't think they're gonna do that. Or and they haven't done it yet. That might be a thing. Did they ever say they were going to do it? Yeah, I can just freeze these. The best thing that can happen is for them to line up. What the heck? Oh, that sounded painful. Hello, Albin. Or Albie Wanks. Oh, that... we all have a tendency like that, especially when we're tired. Hey, chill out. She's going nuts. What the heck? Almost killed me. And I'm wearing full mesh too. I'm not squishy by any means. Oh, if you... Huh? Where are your leeches? I want to get focused. If you ever... I don't know, man. I think it's about high time they completely nerf this into the ground. Yeah, that idiot can actually kill me, seems. Unless I get him to kill his friend. Back. Were you here when they did the changes with like a little bit of edge protection that they've given people? Yeah. Yeah, that was a edge protection. I remember all the threads we used to write about edge protection. And you know what's the funniest part? It wasn't even working when they first said it was implemented. It wasn't even freaking working. If that's not OP, I don't know what is. I don't know if I can get focus off of this dude. Yeah, I can use my own damage boost. What? How'd that hit me? Come at me. Bam. Is it far into the story? What is far into the story? Edge protection? Sorry if I missed a comment before that. I don't know. what you're asking about exactly. I was kind of focusing on not dying there. All these blue stuff. Well, some blue stuff is gonna be good. I hope they make more attributes that are... Oh, is it? Is this mine or is it? Plague and cold. Not bad. I hope they make more enchantments that are exclusive to blue stuff, and that way you can have blue builds that or like combine blues with your plague to get some interesting results. Like when they did the there's a particular enchantment you can get right now on blue helmets which decreases focus cost by a whole lot, and you can't get that on plague. Or like on blue you can get focus on you can generate focus on block. You can't do it on, as far as I remember, maybe I'm wrong, you can't do it on plague. This is like if this is basically end game, it's finished, the story is finished, all the areas are done, so this would be your end game loop where you can just run Crucible, or you can also do Pestilence zone runs. Let me, if I get out of here, I'll show you what they are. Have you just recently bought the game, Eric?
Places burrowing in some
So yeah, they can go to these called Pestilence outbreaks, and then you clear them, and they'll have a boss, and you can kill the boss, and you can get get good loot, and then also there are these things called torn parts, and you need those in order to be able to do it. I think we don't know what it is. I'm pretty sure that goat blood is going to be used to summon some kind of a boss, or it may be like do you remember back in the day you had to use embers to get into Crucible? I think that they might use that. They might use goat blood as some kind of a... Okay, if you're new, you can see like, you see all these like entrances that are not active. I'm 100% sure that at some point these are going to be different bosses for Crucible. And they can turn this into a complete roguelite if they wanted to. I'm not sure if we need more Echo Knight, but there could be like different Echo Knights that are completely different bosses and different attacks. Like they would look the same, but like, you know how he's using a lance at the beginning and then he uses a two-hand weapon? Maybe there would be an Echo Knight that uses fist weapon, or there would be one that uses a totally different weapon, ranged weapon and whatnot. Oh, you're doing... I think you're doing yourself a disservice, because the game has a lot to offer, and there will be a lot more to have at release. So right now, everything that's in the game, story and areas they can go to, it is confirmed, soft confirmed, that at release there will be twice as much. So it's not like if I'm gonna do this and I'm not gonna have enough to play with or get enjoyment out of it at release. But play now, man. Just get in and get on the horse. On 22nd, play. Don't wait. The release is at least a few months, if not a year away. Get on it, get familiar with the game, and have yourself ready for release. So like when the release comes, you're just gonna enjoy it fully. But not to say that before then there isn't. I have so many hours in here you wouldn't believe. And even then, there are people, I know people who have even more hours in the game than I do. So like, that might not be representative of the average player, but I think even going by some of the data that they have shared, I think the average player spends 60 to 80 hours in the game. That's average player, you know, because I think that's a healthy number for an early access. There's point is there's enough content for it to be worth playing. Is there anything else we could play here that would be interesting? Oh yeah, this chick is interesting. While we're in the Frozen episode, if we get 3 to 4 more maps, you mean 3 to 4 more areas? There you go, other areas than what you see here, you mean? So like right now, what do we have? We have Shallows, we have the Glades, we have Mariner's Keep, and then we have Lowlands, then we have Marin Woods and Marin Village. What did I miss? Nameless Pass? Sewers? I think that's it. But there are going to be more. There's going to be at least 3 more by release, that is, and then there's going to be even more after the release. What the heck am I doing? What is your most favorite weapon? Nith Grove Binders. Followed closely by the Sinew and Torture Blade. But that being said, I like all the weapons in this game because they all offer something different, and it's an opportunity to play differently. Now, how did I used to go about this build? Bang. Hello? Oh. Hello. Hi. Sorry, you can't play the game. What is this? Why? Why is this allowed? I followed this game since like when they first announced it. Like the art style just immediately pulled me in. If you ever wanted to build to just farm forever and not even waste time by looking at what echoes are available to you, this is it. But keep in mind, if you miss one of these, you're dead. You have no defenses here. But okay, so this build also works if you're not super optimized. So the way that works is you would freeze. Okay, you would freeze like that. Oh, guess I can. As we go on and they get a little bit more tankier. So you have these missiles for, oh, and then you can, what am I doing? Yeah, I'm confusing myself. Okay, I'll show you in a little bit. So like for targets that are far away, you can just use your missiles like this, and then you would send out your hammer and brick them. This is like the cheesiest build ever. That guy's frozen in the middle here.